Hello, this is Left Turn Productions, and welcome to the reveal announcement of my newest series. So, obviously this year I have been doing the Left Turn Productions stop motion series with the mix of all those different kinds of cars. That will still finish in 2021. I'm pretty sure of that. But right afterwards, I'm going to have a brand new kind of series. It's not even going to be stop motion. I mean, you could argue mine was never stop motion to begin with, but you know what I mean. This is going to be a downhill drag series, like how 3D Bot Maker and recently Eric Estep have done. So this takes the outcome of the races entirely out of my control, which is the main thing that I like about it, is that I cannot control the outcome of these races. There are a few things that I can determine, like the schedules, like the divisions and conferences. Yes, there are divisions and conferences in this. Again, I'm kind of loosely basing this on how Eric Estep did it. Don't freak out, please. It's gonna be fun, I promise. I know the hardcore racing faithful probably will not like this idea whatsoever, but that's not exactly who I'm trying to, I guess, appeal to with this. So yeah, in front of you, you can see the lineup of drivers that will be in this. I will be using the 2020 lineup of drivers, even though this is going to be in 2021. Simply because I don't want to have to push this back to, like, September in order to get like a Daniel Suarez Trackhouse diecast or a Bubba Wallace 2311 Racing or whatever diecast. I don't want to get too many new diecast for this, and I want to get this started sometime in the spring. But yeah, here you can see the 32 drivers, and they're already split up into their conferences and divisions. So you can see on each side, for the conferences, I tried to split them up between manufacturer, but I couldn't quite get it perfect. So in general, most of the drivers in Conference A on the left are Chevrolet drivers, and most of the drivers in Conference B on the right are Ford drivers. Obviously, there's Toyota drivers, which could go into either conference, and there was one Chevrolet driver I had to put in the Ford camp, and that's Ross Chastain. You can see in the 77. But he drove a Ford last season, so you could. I'm going to let it by. I'm going to let it scoot by. But yes, as you can see, 32 drivers for this series in 8 different divisions. For the divisions, I used the drivers' hometowns to determine the division. So we've got the East up on the top, and then the North, then the South, and then finally on the bottom is the West. Actually, I think I determined like the East, North, South, and West things first before I split them up between manufacturers. But yeah, in general, I think the divisions lined up pretty well. Now you might see, hey, Ryan Blaney is just obviously going to take that division because there's 3 backmarkers with him. But that's not necessarily going to be the case because this is a downhill series. Anybody could win the division. I honestly don't know how fast each of these cars are. So, you know, we might have a division where someone just completely runs away with it. Or they could all be hyper competitive. I don't know. I'm going to be doing a lot of test racing in January and probably February as well to try and get the track just right. And that's the one thing this series is not going to have over other downhill series, is the fact that the track is not going to be as nice. I don't have as many materials to make the track nice. I'm probably just going to be looking for scraps and trying to work with what I have. But I'm going to try and make the track work functionally. I'm not going to try and make it the best racing, like genetically engineer it to make the best racing. I'm just going to make it so that it provides good racing, and that's it. Because I feel like that's the standard that I want to get to. As long as it provides good racing, then it's okay. Anyway, the next part of this is the schedule. And the schedule, again, I'm not entirely sure when this is going to start. I'm aiming for the spring, but it might not be until, like, summer. It just depends on when the LTPSS finishes. But there is going to be 19 weeks worth of races. Not 19 races, 19 weeks worth of races. 16-week regular season and a 3-week playoffs. And I calculated the total number of races that will end up happening, because all of these are head-to-head. There are no 3s or 4s, they're all head-to-head. Again, just like how Eric Estep did his. There is going to be 263 races. Now, obviously, I can't record all of those races, because that's way too many. So what I'm going to do is, in each week, I'm going to look at the different races, or at the different matchups. I'm going to pick like 4 or 5 pretty good ones, and I'm going to include those full races in the video, and then I'm going to have a recap of the other races that happened at the end. So that's how the videos are going to work. And I'm going to try to get one out every week, but there's no guarantee. But obviously, with this being week-based, I'm probably gonna have to. But there's just things that can complicate it. But yeah, these are faster to do anyway than stop motions, so I think I can do it. So, playoffs. 8 drivers are going to make the playoffs. I know, that's pretty stingy. I tried to include some wild cards in there, but the brackets wouldn't really work out. So, 8 drivers make the playoffs, and they're going to be the top 8. Well, not the top 8. They will be the 8 division winners. If you win the division, you make the playoffs. If you don't, then you don't. It's really that simple. And then these 8 drivers will get seeded based off their record, and also a couple other tiebreakers that I have in mind. First week of the playoffs is going to have 4 races. The winners of each of those races goes on to the next week, and then the winners, where there will be 2 races between those 4 drivers, and then the winners of those go to the championship race, which is going to cap off the season for week 19. So yeah, I think this is a very interesting thing to do. And I really like the idea, and also the efficiency, I guess, because they're easier to make than the other ones, and plus the lack of control that I have over what happens in the race. So it's truly unpredictable even to me. But yeah, I hope you guys like this idea. I might have a Your Cup Series style kind of sponsored account signups thing going on, but I'm not entirely certain. If you guys want that, then I can add that in. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys will enjoy this new series. This is Left Turn Productions signing out.